Hi everyone, welcome back. This is I guess our third video now. So today we're going to be talking about just some good practices for brew methods. So we're not going to go through recipes. There are plenty of recipes if you want to look up how to brew in different styles online. A good example is coldblowcoffee.co.uk, which is our roaster in the shop. They've got a whole series of brew guides on their website, so I'll link that down below if you want to go and check out them for actual recipes. But today we're just going to talk about good practices while brewing home coffee. So one of the first things I say whenever brewing, no matter what you're doing, whether it's cafetiere, AeroPress, V60s, chemexes or mocha pots. I mean, I don't actually have a chemex here. This is actually just another V60. That's because Marta, who works in the shop, broke our chemex, and I'm still angry about it, furious even. Any of these brew methods, apart from this one, which is the mocha pot, which is done from cold to hot, so you don't need to do this one. You should preheat every vessel. So when you've got your kettle full of hot water, you need to just pour a little bit of the hot into the vessel first to make sure that the vessel's hot, so it doesn't cool any of the coffee or water once you start pouring into it. That's probably one of the most important tips to make your coffee taste as best it can. Another one is, while you're doing that, no matter if you're using a V60, chemex or AeroPress, if it has paper filters or metal filters, you want to rinse them through as well. They tend to have a little bit of a papery taste they can add to the coffee unless you rinse through them first. So when you pop them in and you're rinsing the vessel to make sure that it's hot, also put the paper in. You want to get all that paper residue off, then tip the water that you've poured in away, and then carry on. Next big tip is there is a thing called the golden ratio in coffee, which is sort of the best ratio coffee to water, which is considered to be about 50 grams to a litre of water. And if you're obviously making 1 cup, you scale it down. Average cup of coffee is about 240 millilitres to 300 millilitres, so just scale it down to roughly around 18 grams. What I find, the bigger you're brewing, you actually does help to go err on the side of caution. So when I'm making about a litre of coffee, say with the cafetiere or this larger V60, I tend to go about 45 grams is sort of my personal golden ratio, but everyone's is different, depends what taste you want. And then next tip we've got is the grind you have your coffee in. Now when it comes to home brewing with these sort of hand brew techniques, I tend to grow quite coarse, so it's a bit like a ground salt, but again, every coffee's different. Every time you make a coffee, you're going to find you want to play with the grind, so the first one you make might not be the best one, but the next day do you know what, if it was a bit bitter, you might want to just make that a little bit coarser to stop that fine. A bit sour, you might want to make it finer to stop it being so sour. That's not really got much else to say to you guys today. I did want to say that in the next episode we're going to answer any questions you have on home brewing, any tips you want. If there's any particular recipes you'd like me to do, I can do that as well. But if you just message underneath this video or in the Instagram story where I'll post the question is what home brewing questions you'd like us to answer, and we will answer that on Monday, I think is the next one. That's all for today. Not much more going on here. So once again, stay in, stay safe, and go team.